Hey, today I am giving you an overview of my new mentoring consulting calls and maybe indulging a couple of other questions as well. So, a lot of you have been asking me over the years whether I do any apprenticeships, whether I offer mentoring, and I have written guides in the past and I am writing a book now, but in the interim, I thought that I would indulge all of that interest and give you an opportunity to pick my brain. So I've started offering half an hour calls to people in the industry, people hoping to garner knowledge from my work. And it's been a lot of fun. I didn't think that that would be the outcome, but it's been incredible to gain an insight into all of these different corners of the world and to be able to give you my 2 cents on what can be applied to the world where you are. And at the moment, it's all sorts of people who are very early on in their practice, people who have been at it for like a dozen years, starting new business offshoots, people who are navigating things like culture and religion around work. It's been absolutely fascinating. So please just keep it coming. It's been a wonderful exercise for me. And whenever you apply for the call or whenever you book the call, you have an opportunity to tell me what it is that you are interested in. And a lot of people put links to their existing work. And I always have a look at all of these before I get on call with you, and it's an opportunity to brainstorm for me to tell you what I think should be done, or for me to figure out what it is that motivates you so that we can work out ways around that. But yeah, I'm really enjoying these mentoring calls, and thank you for that. But I just have a couple of questions from you that I will answer. Oh, and also I guess just to make it obvious, if you go to my website on my profile, it's in the menu. It's like, I think maybe the first option on the front page even, and you can just book a call that way. So, what's a topic that I enjoy talking about on these calls? Any surprises? I think it's been a big surprise that I've enjoyed them as much as I have, and that I was able to learn as much as I have. To be honest, I just offered it because it was asked of me so very much, and I didn't really think about what the outcomes would be for me. It was more an offering. But yeah, I think that's been the most surprising thing. And also that people are being so specific. I mean, I don't need that to be the case at all, but obviously it is quite helpful if people have a list of exact questions that they want answered. And that is also very refreshing because I enjoy the adrenaline of having to get to something. And so that has been lovely, again, in all of the different aspects, from culture and religion to new business development and how one can open up into the mainstream. So it's really been all over the place. I've enjoyed it so much. Okay, so I think that's probably the most relevant one on actual calls. There's one that's asking a question this is like a kind of question that would happen on these calls. How did you figure out your perfect schedule and divide the attention properly between? Yeah, exactly. So you can ask me this kind of thing there. I will indulge this one today here because it is somebody who has been quite dedicated in their hoping for the mentoring exchange for a while. But I would say that finding my perfect schedule is an ongoing thing. Even today, I had remained open, actually, in terms of the calls. I would just leave my calendar linked, and every moment that I had free was available for this. But I realized that was taking a toll on my attention, and so I have only limited it now to Tuesdays and Sundays, UK time. That can be a whole range of other dates either side in other places. But yeah, so it's really an ongoing thing. And then also understanding what is profitable. I track a lot of the time spent on certain parts of my business, and I track numbers around that as well. So it's a combination of sanity and profitability that I'm tracking and calculating, and I shift the ratio, the ratio of how I deal with things, or how I want to give my attention marketing to things that are accordingly paying off to how I see them. And divide the attention properly between. I have always been very lucky in that I focus on what is happening and I don't necessarily get too much weight from everything else around it. So I'm lucky in that. I would say that that is probably the most sustainable way for me. And how I cultivated that was probably the way I was brought up. But also, I would say that meditation definitely honed that in, and having a solid support network so that I feel safe and secure, and also having little things that I know that are going to be good for me, like working out as often as I can and having a schedule around that, eating properly, and just like keeping the grounding going for you. So, yes, that is a type of question that could also happen on these calls. But yes, anything else that's actually about okay, all right. And so there's this one: how do you create repeat clients and long-term ones over a long distance? So I'm just gonna say that this is a kind of question that is also very good for these calls because there are a lot of things that I have cultivated over the years that are not safe for this platform to be disseminated in a way for everyone to hear, or also that are not able to be repeated in PG spaces. Yeah. So that's a little intro to these new mentoring consulting calls that I've been up to. Aside from that, maybe I'll give you a little update. I recently moved to London. I know that I've always been here so much anyway, but I finally have an actual home here, and it's only been maybe 2.5 weeks, but still no art on the walls, but and Dungeon Furniture is about to arrive next week, which is nice too. And to clarify, I'm not opening a play space just yet. That furniture is just for my home because a few people have asked when I've mentioned it. And yeah, it's nice to be here. The sun is out, it's gorgeous, and I have such a great network of people here. I'm starting to do a lot more mainstream stuff, and I'm figuring out how to navigate that. If anybody has any tips on from living in the shadows to people wanting a piece of you in the mainstream, it's an interesting process. So if anyone has any awareness around that, I would love to book a call with you. but yeah, so that's kind of where my life is at the moment. And if you have any work-specific calls, life-specific calls that you think I can answer on a personal one-to-one time level, then now you know how to go about booking them. And other than that, I will still be having my general Q&As here anyway, but of course they will be answered in a way that is safe-ish enough for work. So have a lovely day, night, everybody, and I will see you at my next Q&A. If you have any suggestions on what topics I should cover, I'm always open and would love to know. Maybe leave them in the comments on this reel. I'm going to leave it as a reel. Thank you.